Hi, welcome to Arizona Highland Homestead. Today we're taking a look at the garden. There's not much in it. It's the end of March 2022 and my wife Danielle is really planting it up. So let's take a look and see what we've got. So starting off in this corner here, she's got just a little bit of onions planted over here. We found these starts over at Home Depot. If you look back, you'll see that we've got a video about those starts that we found. So anyway, these are onion sets, I guess is what they're called. But starting with this first row here, she's got lots of soil. Actually, a good deal at Costco is they have Miracle-Gro, but it's the organic version, and it's got a bunch of compost in it. In fact, the bags were really hot, and I don't think that was because they were kept outside and just brought in. We got them, some of them last night, but I think that the compost is still breaking down in the bags. I think it's not quite finished, which is fine. We have compost like that sometimes too. It can burn your plants, so be careful of that. But over here we have some old Swiss chard. You can see, look at this stump. This thing's huge. But it's sprouting back up. We cut it all down, and we are doing the no dig method, which means that we cut the plants off right at the surface level. This is a little bit above the surface, but still, we cut off right at the surface level, and then we leave the roots there to decompose, and all of the worms and microbes will work through those roots and decompose those. And then it's like having compost growing in your soil, except it's better because you have all of the air gaps, and you've got fine roots and thicker roots that go down and create kind of a tract, like a river for the other roots to find from the new plants. So we have some Swiss chard here, and some birds have been eating it. I don't know if you can tell there, but we still have all of our irrigation in here. Hey, look at this honeybee. Oh, that's a different type of bee. I don't know if you could see that bee. Bee's like digging down in the soil. I don't know, that must be a carpenter bee or something like that. I don't know if I can get him to come back out. But anyway, I don't want to get stung. There's all kinds of insects coming to the garden right now. But the irrigation, so we've got two lines of 1/2-inch drip tubing all throughout the garden for every bed, except for this bed here. This one had to be a little bit skinnier. That was one that we kind of threw in there after the fact because we had too big of a space. But these garden beds, they were 30 inches originally with a 12-inch pathway that we put mulch on. So Danielle's been working those back again, and this is some cilantro right here. Some good stuff. Gotta get some of that for our tacos tonight we're gonna have. So the cilantro grows well even in the frosted nights. And then we got some more chard that's kind of left over there. But this corner here, this is the western corner of our garden, and you can see this wall's up a little bit higher than the plants, so it kind of shades them in the afternoon. We also have the trees and the chickens over here, and these trees really do add some shade in the very hottest part of the afternoon, the very end of the day. So that's good. You can see all of our cover crop is coming back up over here. We got some great clover, and yeah, anyway, you guys that know me know that these updates to our garden can be long-winded, but that's just fine. I do this a lot for us to look back on and see what the garden was like. So this is, like I said, the end of March, and I wanted to do an update because it's going to look a lot different come April. I can't wait. So we've got these drippers. I think they're about every 18 inches or so. I don't know exactly, but we do them a little bit different in some spots, and it's really easy. Just you just punch a hole with a little punch or a nail, and then you stick these drippers right in there, and they got these flags. We like these because you can clean them out easy. Some people say they get clogged up a little bit more easy, but we really like them. I think those are 2 gallon per hour. I think that's what those green ones are. But see, this is our manifold system here that we have. We don't have the timers yet because it's still apt to freeze, but we've got a filter on it here, and we've just got the hose hooked up. Often we'll hook this up with the rainwater system, but right now we just have the hose going. So and then we have another splitter on this last one that we can do either out to, I think that's out to the fruit trees, or out to this hose where we can fill up the watering can. Danielle's got a little bit of trash there from all the seeds that she's been planting, some pots. And then she's got some more onions over on this east side. I guess I'm doing the west side, then the east side. And then some garlic as well. So that garlic we started in pots, and it went well. They got started pretty well, but now they're in the ground over here. There's some more clover. So we tend to leave a lot of the cover crop just around. To some people it looks really messy and like we've got weeds growing places, and I guess they kind of are, but they're really good for the soil and for the life under the ground that you can't see. She got some bulbs in there, some little onions, and got some more clover there, and a little bit more there. Anyway, and some that's probably triticale or wheat grass or something like that. But I don't think she has anything else planted. Let's see what's here. There's a Spanish Roja garlic. We got some Holland garlic and some German red garlic growing there. I always have to look at these because she does this while I work a lot. And looks like we got some kind of Spanish something or another. I don't know what this is. Spanish Roja again, I guess. I don't know, maybe those are she's just starting those ones now. But I think everything else here is vacant. Oh, she's got some onions against the wall over there. And anyway, she's been watering it, getting it all prepared. Here's where some of our compost is. You can see it's not done yet. It still has a bunch of woody material and some of the chips from the chicken bedding. That's mixed with chicken manure, and we kind of were a little reluctant to add compost that wasn't quite done yet. But Charles Dowding, if you guys ever follow him, he's kind of the no-dig mentor of ours that we've been following. And he says, you know, if the compost isn't quite done yet, just throw it down. It's kind of like mulch. You can kind of see it like that, but it will decompose, and years later you'll be happy that you put it down anyway. There's some cilantro that carried over, I think, from last season, to be honest. I think it died and it came back. So we got so that's the easternmost row. Then we got these ones, and 30 inches is great because you can straddle it with your feet, and then you can dig right in here, you know, right in the middle, and then we just walk down this path. And we have a shredder chipper that we produce this mulch with, and it's been real good. There's another one of them carpenter bees. We have so many types of bees here, guys. It's just amazing. Let's see if I can get them on film for you. I don't know, but we have a lot of honeybees. One of our neighbors has a hive over there, just let's see, 1, 2, 3 houses down from us, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, nothing really in these beds yet, I don't think, unless Danielle planted something and not let me know. I think that's a leftover onion from last year. But let me talk to you a little bit more about the infrastructure here. So coming up to the south wall again, she's got some onions over there. She's got these garlic. What are these? Spanish Roja again. And then some more Holland garlic over here. And then she's got these onions. And like I said, there's a Swiss chard and stuff. The cilantro that's going great. But these 2 rows here, you can see we've got this cattle panel right here. And it's just held up by these 4 T-posts with just some wire, and it's real simple to do. And I highly recommend all of you guys do this. If you have a space like this for an arch, you can see this, look, it goes up and it arches over. And we had, let's see, we had last year, we had beans, you know, pole beans growing up here, and we had cucumbers on this side growing up, and it shaded stuff underneath that was a little bit more delicate and didn't want the intense sun. And then the stuff over here got the shade in the afternoon. So it was great. I think we had peppers over here, and those peppers did really well. So just keep that in mind. Over here last year we had tomatillos from this T-post here over to that T-post, and we just ran twine back and forth and just kind of wove the tomatillos up through them, and that worked really well, except that the tomatillos, since this is a narrow bed, the tomatillos kind of were falling and spreading out into the pathway really too much. And then this was absolutely by far the best thing that we did in this garden last year. The irrigation was probably better, actually, because we didn't have it irrigated and we were watering by hand or with a sprinkler on a hose. So that irrigation, that is the best. But this was the second best. And we saw this, I forget who it was on YouTube, so forgive me if this was something that you put up and we got the idea from you, but I hear that a lot of people do this. And again, we're just using wire, and we have it just on 2 spots on each T-post, on the bottom over there, right there, and up here at the top. And this is just a regular cattle panel. We didn't cut it or anything. We just brought it home and set it up vertically on the short side, like we're trying to keep in cattle or something, right? And we planted a whole variety of tomatoes right here. Here you can see the no-dig method. We cut this stem and you can feel it's rotten. And that one's not growing back like that Swiss chard over there, right there. But that's gonna be really good for the microbes in the soil, because they get used to those roots. And if you yank them out, you're yanking all of them out too and disturbing them. So the ecosystem really gets established, and then they decompose it, and it's great. So so we had a few tomato plants there, and you can kind of see the stumps all along as we go. There's one right there. But this cattle panel, it held so many big tomato plants with tons of tomatoes. And what we did was we just wove the tomato plant up and through. So we wove it through, and then it grew, and then it grew up to the next one, and we wove it through the other way. And we kept doing that and wove it through, and then we took the side branches and we wove them through. And I'll tell you what, it was, like I said, almost the best thing that we did in this garden last year. So we're reserving this row for tomatoes again, because it works so well. I think we may switch it up now that I think about it, because you shouldn't put plants in the same spot every year, the same type of plant. You should switch it up. So we may move that over to here. The other thing that we were talking about, my 12-year-old son Caleb, we might put a trellis like this all down this row, and even use some shade cloth over top of it in the heat of the summer. We were thinking about doing like a greenhouse thing with plastic on this trellis, but you know, we're really looking for a house, and we really feel like God's telling us to wait now. So we're going full bore with this garden. So Danielle's real excited because she has a garden to plant, and I'm excited too, because last year it just looked like we lived in Florida or something. It was so green. So anyway, that's pretty much the garden here for March of 2022, and this is the end of March. So hopefully come the end of April, we'll have something to show you guys. So I hope that was interesting a little bit. Like I said, we often just do these once a month, or we did last year anyway, so we could look back. And it is so encouraging to look back and see all the different things that we did and say, oh, you know what, we really should have planted those peppers in the middle of the garden and not on the edge, or whatever it might have been. Or we should have used more of those trellises, or we should buy a whole bunch of cattle panels this year. So let us know in the comment down below if you guys use any of the things that we're using, whether it's drip irrigation or trellises, cattle panels, or what it might be. And also let us know down below what you're doing this year that you didn't do last year that you're excited about. Well, I'm Nick from Arizona Highland Homestead. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have more videos for you real soon.